Afternoon. Welcome to opening day. We really wish you were here with us today, but we thought we'd do something a little special. This is our home. This is a place in the ballpark that not a lot of fans get a chance to see. So today we'd like to give you a behind-the-scenes tour of the clubhouse at Rent One Park. Come on in. It was really important for us to have a legacy here at Rent One Park and for the minors organization. So when players sign here and they walk in the clubhouse for the very first time, and they walk in here on a daily basis, we want them to know about all the phenomenal players that have already worn the uniform before them. This is our minors honor wall. These are guys who were all-stars, postseason all-stars, maybe got picked up by major league organizations, won end of season awards, players of the year, pitchers of the year, etc. And then among this, we have three of our players who've reached the major leagues. You've got Clay Zavada, you've got Tanner Roark, you've got Brandon Caniff, and so these guys are all part of the wall. This represents a really important day in Rent One Park history. This was the night we won our championship. And as you can see, we wanted players when they walked in to get a sense of what that feeling was, from the celebration on the field, raising the trophy, our championship series MVP, Cannon Lester, getting Gatorade dumped on him, champagne in the clubhouse. These were all incredible moments, and we get to relive these when we see these every day, and our new players that get signed and walked in get a chance to get a little sense of history and success that's already been here. As we continue down the hallway, in our entrance, we have celebration photos. We want the guys to know when they walk in here, there is a expectation, there's a standard to win. We celebrate, we pop champagne, we have very special nights. We want to remind guys of that, and when they walk in every day, it's just kind of a visual reminder. Over here you have in 2010, the second best record in league history. This is the 2010 team. As you can see, from June 9th to June 28th, we did not lose a baseball game. It was an unbelievably special time. An incredible, talented group of players, and certainly a record that I don't think can ever be broken. The previous record was 13. 20 is outrageous and quite an accomplishment. Then you've got our all-decade team. This was in 2016. Our fans, our media voted who were the best players to ever wear a uniform. And these are guys that you're going to get an opportunity to see here in our game coming up a little while from now. Ryan Bird is our starting pitcher today. All of the all-decade team will be the starters of the game. And we think it's going to be an incredible experience. You're going to love the game and how we put it together. Welcome to our player locker area. It's a little different today. Normally on opening day, this place is buzzing with excitement. The sound system is blaring. Guys' hearts are pumping. They can't wait to get out on the field to show how good they are to all the minors fans. And unfortunately, it's an empty locker room. We have 34 lockers in here. As you can tell, they're really pretty nice. These are all wooden lockers. They have a lot of room in them. They have private locker areas up above. And when they arrive, it kind of looks like this when they get here for spring training. Players walk in addition to having all of their materials and equipment provided for them, their name is up in the locker, and this is a keepsake for them long after they're gone. This is a very special place to us. The clubhouse is home. As you can tell, there's a big table in the middle. There's normally more than one. Guys are in here playing cards and just kind of sitting around getting to know each other and talking about games. We have meetings in here where we'll go over the scouting reports for the pitcher for tonight. We have video that we can show up here of the pitcher we're going to face. Guys get a chance to see him. We go over scouting reports on all of their hitters. So all of that will take place in here, all in the time right before game time. Welcome to the Chris Stone training room. The training room is named after Chris Stone, who is our original trainer. He is still currently our strength and conditioning coordinator. After a lot of years with us, Chris went on to become a very successful physician's assistant and is an integral part of helping make sure that our team is ready to go every day. Brad Brush is our current trainer. This is Brad's home. He takes care of all the players in here. As you can see, we have a couple of tables for guys to sit on. This would be getting treatments, get stretch. We have every possible piece of medical equipment in here in order to get guys ready to go. The goal is, it says there, Cal Ripken played 2,632 consecutive Major League games. How many players in the Frontier League have the character, work ethic, preparation, and willpower to play all 96 regular season games of ours? And we've had a number of years where we've had a number of players have done that, including back in 15 and 16 where we had 3 players in each year play all 96 games. That's a testament not only to them, their character, their work ethic to get ready for the season, but the job that our training staff does in keeping them ready and able to be on the field every day. As you start to head out towards the field, you'll notice a number of informational things that are available to the players. First of all, the lineup is posted usually early that afternoon. Sometimes it's text out to them via GroupMe messaging, where guys know who's playing that day, who's off, etc. We've got scouting reports on the pitcher that we're going to face that night. Guys can take their time and kind of look and see what do they throw. We'll also have rookie responsibilities for our next road trip, who's responsible for what items. The last thing you want to do is get to Washington, PA, and we left the hats here. So everybody has responsibilities, and then we have a guy who will always come back through and double check and make sure those jobs got done. These are kind of our daily plan, so guys can see who has early work, what work is scheduled on the field earlier in the day before batting practice. It has our batting practice groups, and it has what we're going to do during batting practice that day. And as you can tell, we normally have information for our next road trip. What would be our load time? What time do we leave? And for example, if we're going to load at 9:30 and leave at 10, at 10:01, there's nothing but a vapor trail. The bus is long gone. We leave right on time. And it reminds them to check rookie responsibilities. If the weather's going to be really cool there, remind them to bring it. We've got a couple of our slogans: next man up, do your job. And for Matt Mooney, don't forget to pay your clubhouse dues. And then, of course, as you leave the field, the last reminder is this. Remember, every game is someone's first game. There's somebody coming to Rent One Park today that's never been here. There's somebody who's coming to Rent One Park that has never been to a baseball game or a Miners game. It's really important that we represent ourselves well, represent the Miners organization and themselves, and make a great impression on our fans, because it really is all about them. Thanks for stopping by the clubhouse.
Hi, I'm Will Neerman, Assistant General Manager with the Southern Illinois Miners. Today we're going to take you on a backstage tour of Rent One Park. First, let's start off in the exclusive suite area. Come with me. We're now up here in the Diamond Club, our exclusive hospitality area at Rent One Park. This banquet facility can be utilized for functions 365 days a year, anything from a wedding reception to a business function or even a holiday party. During a game day, this is rented out for groups and organizations to enjoy an all-inclusive buffet, full-service bar, air conditioning, and 8 flat-screen televisions. We're up here at the indoor suite level. The suite featured behind me is the Southern Illinois High School Coaches Hall of Fame. In conjunction with SIH, the Miners and Rent One Park induct a new high school coach every Tuesday night that has had a positive impact on athletes and students in the community. The coach that goes into the Hall of Fame that evening gets exclusive access to the suite for his family and friends to enjoy for the ball game that evening. With numerous inductions over the last several years, the Miners look forward to continuing the tradition of honoring local high school coaches. As we make our way down the foyer to take a look inside one of our nightly suites, the mural on the wall reflects some of the impactful moments in Miners history. Anything from our first postseason All-Star to a walk-off home run to win the division to even our Frontier League championship in 2012. We have 14 suites in the upper tier of Rent One Park. Most of them sold annually to businesses in the region that receive access to all events at Rent One Park. However, we keep a couple of them for nightly rentals to Miners games. Let's take a look inside of one of them. We're now inside one of our nightly suites. Each suite can accommodate up to 20 guests for any occasion. Each one comes furnished and includes amenities such as cable television and air conditioning on a warm summer night. The suite also has exclusivity to order off a menu with items that are not featured anywhere else in Rent One Park. We have a friendly suite staff that will come by and check on any needs that you might have throughout the evening. Guests have the ability to pre-purchase items and have a warm meal ready by the time you show up for the game. One of the best perks about enjoying a nightly suite is the view of the game. Let's step out on the balcony and take a look. Each suite features 12 padded seats on the balcony to enjoy on a nice summer night with one of the best views Rent One Park has to offer.
Welcome to Rent One Park, home of the Southern Illinois Miners. Located in Marion, Illinois, the $26 million facility opened in 2007. Easily accessible via Highway 57 and Route 13, the stadium has parking for 1,000 vehicles and an in-stadium capacity of 7,000 people. Continuous renovation projects at Rent One Park has provided something for everyone. Newly added, the Budweiser Party Decks offer an all-inclusive, unique hospitality option. Located in right field, the Hot Corner features a full-service bar and grill, and outdoor entertainment plaza with music and yard games. 3 full-service concession stands span across an open and spacious concourse, which also features 4 top table seating, the home plate bar, and a children's wiffle ball field. The stadium also features a spacious team store and fully equipped box office. Installed in 2018, Rent One Park has the largest high-definition widescreen video board in the Frontier League. With a 5-camera HD video broadcast and professional control room, fans get an enhanced experience which provides nonstop entertainment. Fans can get a fun and competitive round of mini golf at the 10-hole Rent One Park Mini Golf Club adjacent to the Birthday Village. Bring your lawn chairs and blanket to enjoy a view of the game on the grass berm located down the left field line. The suite level features an unmatched hospitality experience with 14 private suites, the Culver's porch, and an indoor press box and media room. Also featured on the suite level is the Diamond Club banquet facility, which can accommodate up to 300 guests and be utilized year-round. The stadium features a synthetic playing surface with large professional dugouts, protected bullpens down the right field fence, and state-of-the-art, comfortable clubhouses with training rooms for both the home and visiting teams. In addition to Miners baseball, Rent One Park has been home to the Canadian Wild of Southern Illinois, the Ohio Valley Conference Baseball Tournament, Colt League World Series, and concerts featuring some of the industry's biggest stars. Rent One Park, something for everyone.
Dave McKenzie, it's our Southern Illinois Miners virtual opening day, and thought it would be really cool if we could talk with some of our former Miners, and I'm pleased to be joined on my Zoom call here with perennial fan favorite, 2-time All-Star, 2007, 2008 second baseman, and shortstop, did a little bit of everything. Mike Scanzano, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me. Excited to talk to you guys, man.
Well, it's a thrill to have you here and to be able to spend a few minutes to talk with you. And Mike sent players, an email talking about what's going on for opening day and not being able to actually have actual game and fans in the parks. It's just such a great idea from Mike and Kathy Perry and the staff to do a virtual opening day. What were your thoughts when you got his email?
Oh, man. I mean, it was so cool. I actually got a chance to talk to him before he sent the email, and it was just bringing back so many memories, and just to be able to be a part of an opening day, whether it be online or whatever. It's just a thrill for me, and I miss it there. And it was just once he said it, I was like, this is awesome. I'm in. Whatever you need me to do.
Now you're at home now, but where's home for you?
I'm in South Jersey, right across the bridge from Philly. It's a town called Mickleton, New Jersey.
And family-wise?
Family's all here. Everybody's here. I got my family's about 10, 15 minutes away. My wife's family's about 10 minutes away. So it's nice. We're right in the middle. You know, you got the grandparents helping out with the kids. And I don't know if you guys hear them in the background, because I do. There's, I'm
It's
just
all
hoping they don't
good.
come. I'm hoping
Welcome,
flying for,
welcome to Zoom meetings.
yeah.
Also,
They might come flying in here in a minute, so I apologize in advance. But I got 3 of them, 5, 4, and 2. So,
well,
and, it's
congratulations, and everybody's healthy, I'm hoping.
everybody's great. Everybody's healthy. So that's obviously number one. But we're hanging in there. You know,
Well, Mike,
ready.
one of the things that I wanted to spend some time talking with you about, and that was the couple of years that you spent with the Southern Illinois Miners. I mean, you were there from 2007, 2008, so you were at the beginning of a new organization, and really kind of helped to build the foundation for the tradition of Southern Illinois Miners baseball. Let's talk a little bit about how you wound up with Mike Pino, how that came about.
Well, it's actually a pretty cool story. I was in I had played for the Brockton Rocks, who wound up trading me to the Sussex Skyhawks in northern New Jersey, and probably about, I think it was my 3rd year, and it just wasn't working out. And honestly, I thought I was done. Thought it was it. They wound up releasing me, and I drove home. I was home for a week, and my good friend Chris Hall called me and he said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Listen, I think Quebec might pick up my rights, and I don't think I'm going to go to Quebec. I just wasn't. I didn't want to do that." And he's like, "Hold on, I'll let me get back." He's like, "Hold on, I'm gonna have somebody call you." And I think Mike called me like an hour later, and he's like, "Would you be interested in coming here?" And it was just like, "What? Excuse me?" And I got in the car and took off towards Southern Illinois, and the rest is history. It was that close. It was really close for me to hanging him up and just kind of starting, I get a job and start my life. But that phone call, man, I still remember it. I remember where I was. I was in my basement. I was down and out. I thought it was it, and something you put your whole life into from when you were a kid. And like I said, I thought it was over, and it just kind of just that phone call sparked me. I think I jumped in the car that night. I mean, I'm on my way, man. I got so excited, and just to add on to that, I came in through the back of the stadium. And I still remember the story. It's crazy. I came in through the clubhouse. I had no idea what the field looked like. I didn't see pictures. I just went. And I remember walking out of the clubhouse, and I was just walking up, and I could see the stands just filled up. And as I was getting closer, like my mouth just dropped when and I saw everything, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And from that point on, man, it was just like, let's go, let's get after it. And it was an unbelievable experience for me. Not only the baseball side was great, but just the people I've met, the organization. It was a blessing, and for me to get turned around like that, it was. I definitely had to thank the big man upstairs, man, because it was definitely him to put me in that situation.
So as you're driving, it's what, 14-hour drive, 12-hour drive?
Mm-hmm.
What, in your mind's eye, what do you talk about walking into Rent One Park for the first time, but what did you think you were walking into?
I mean, I was playing for 3 years, so you kind of like, you played in your nice stadiums. I played in Brockton. Brockton was nice, Campanella Stadium. I mean, I played in, Sussex. Obviously, I was there, and that was just like, ugh. Unfortunately. So you got your highs and your lows in the stadiums you go to, and it is what it is. But I did not. I'm telling you, the way I came in, like I could see the stadium, but I couldn't. I don't know. It was just my first. It was like the front door to Southern Illinois Miners, and I was just like, what? I mean, the turf, the fans, the music, the scoreboard. I was like, wait a second. I was like, am I in the right spot? Like, am I? Is it sort of say Rent One Park? I was like, wait, where am I? And it was just, I remember just walking around the stadium that night, man, just taking it all in.
Well, you came in and replaced Eric Harriman, and wound up getting picked up by the Detroit Tigers.
Hmm.
What was your thoughts when you know that, hey, somebody's getting the call to affiliate ball?
I mean, I thought it was great. I think, you had a lot of guys that were getting picked up, and I think that's what made you, you continue on and drive and think you have an opportunity, and if you're playing, you got an opportunity, and it was nice. You're happy for guys that get that opportunity to play affiliated ball and move up. But my number one thing when I got there was, I'm gonna give everything I got and do the best I possibly can to get that call. Unfortunately, it never happened, but it is what it is. And but my experience there and everything I had there was something I'll never forget.
Two-time All-Star with the Frontier League, a fan favorite. You're part of the all-decade team. When you look back at your stats,
Thank you.
172 hits with the minors, 33 hit by pitches. Still, it's with Will Block for most number of hit by pitches. Is healed over since you've been here.
Yeah, man, I remember I got hit 3 times in one game. I don't know what it was. I just think I may have dove in a little bit. But yeah, I got beat up, definitely with the pitches. That actually kind of hurt me a little bit. It was my second year. I was having a pretty good year. I was doing very, very well, and felt good. Everything was kind of coming into place, and I got hit with a fastball right on my wrist. And
that was in June.
And I remember the doctor was like, "You got to sit out 2 weeks." I'm like, "Yeah, nah." I'm like, "Can I hurt it more?" He's like, "No, you can't hurt it more." I'm like, "Well, we got to talk to Mike." I talked to Mike. I was like, "Mike, I'll fight through it. It is what it is." I think I was 27, 28 at the time. I was like, "I don't got 2 weeks. I don't want to sit here for 2 weeks. It's just not my personality." And I played, and I do the same thing if till today. Like I just didn't want to. I just wanted to keep playing, and that was my biggest thing.
When you look at the stats, I guess the best way I could describe scans on the field is you were a gritty kind of ball player. You just did what needed to be done to help the team.
Right.
Like I said, the 172 hits, the 33 hit by pitches, 21 sacrifice bunts in your career minors. That was kind of your mentality of what you wanted to contribute to that team.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, where everybody's fighting the goal to get to do well and get picked up and get that call. But team was always something important to me. I played football, I played basketball in high school, and I was always, and I think maybe because of that, like it was always just like, hey man, let's go. What do we got to do to win this game? What can I do? Bunt, get hit by a pitch, lean into one, which I probably did a couple times. My mentality was, let's do what I got to do. Do what I got to do to help them. And at the end of the day, stay in the lineup too. You want to play. You want to play.
Yeah. I was looking back at that lineup, the starting lineup back in 2008. Man, some of the names on there, Ryan Bird, Mike Eiffel, Clay Zabata,
love
Tanner Rourke.
Yep.
Do you look back and think back? Oh, my gosh, what a good ball team that was.
It was very impressive the team that Mike put together. Not only and I'm not just saying this. I mean, yeah, we could play, and you had guys that could throw, that could swing, and all that. But I mean, you had good human beings. Man, you had good guys, good character. It's just, and I think that's one of the the things you really really miss is being with the guys and hanging with them and just building those relationships. That we still I still text with Tim Dorn, Hall, Ralph. Metropolis, we still laugh about like the stuff that we used to laugh about. I mean, like it's just at the end of the day, can't say enough of the guys that we had. Like I said, we could play and we can compete and we're top notch. But you had great guys, good character, man, and that was extremely extremely rare on some of the teams I played for.
I think one of your best games, well, and I hope you agree, flash you back to July 13th of 07 against Florence. 6 on the plate, pal.
Yeah, yeah.
What were you hitting beach balls out there or what, man?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I mean, listen, when it all comes together, it all comes together. You just find holes and it works out. Probably had some bloops in there. I'm sure Ralph would say that. But 4 of them were probably bloop hits.
Of course he would.
Okay, Ralph, whatever. But yeah, it was just a nice night, man. It's just game just kept going and going and going. And then finally, I think I hit a double to walk us off. Yeah, hit a double to walk us off, man. And that's something I'll never forget. I don't think I slept that night. I remember my host dad was like, I was up at like 6. He's like, "What are you doing?" Like, dude, you just got back. I was just like, I was still on like the high, and it was just cool, man. It was a great game and something I'll never forget.
Of course, we kind of mentioned the two cornerstones of this minors organization. Ralph Santana, you got a Ralphie story.
Oh, best Ralph story I got right out of the gates. I don't gotta say
that we can actually air to the fans.
Yeah, it comes up. So I'm at. I can't. I'm not trying to tell a story. I'm laughing. The first game I played, literally first night, and Ralph was the kind of guy like, "Hey man, how you doing?" Like you had to show him you could play a little bit. You had to, before he kind of opened up to you. And I remember, like BP just was kind of like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" Like just not quiet towards me, but just, kind of looking me up and down, like, "Who is this guy? Who's this guy? Where'd they get this guy?" And I think it was like the first inning, man. I got a ground ball to me, and I threw it into the ground, man. It like hopped in front of first baseman, bounced over his head, and I just look over, and Ralph just looking at me, shaking his head. "Come on, man, you serious?" And I was just like so embarrassed. There's like, it was just, I think he like turned and looked at Mike during the game. Was like, "Come on, Mike, really?" Like I was like, "Thanks, Ralph. I appreciate the support, man." And that just, I still can see his face, just kind of looking at me like, not like, "Hey, man, don't worry about it. You get it." Like, "Come on, bro, you serious? Who's that?" Like, and that was Ralph. He's going to tell you how it is.
And he's intense all the time.
He is intense all the time. He was great. He's a tense ball player. He's emotional. I was with him. I kind of played like that too, man. You kind of played with a chip on your shoulder, your heart on your sleeve, and Ralph wasn't afraid to tell you something. And he had a lot of experience when I was there. Like he had tons of experience, so it's always nice, picking his brain and leaning on him a little bit. I mean, I was next to him, pretty much that whole year. And it was nice to have a guy like that, not, just a guy that's just going to, "Hey man, don't worry about it." Like kind of like, put you on the spot. Like, "Come on, man, let's go. You can't do that." And you're like, "Oh, okay. You're right. I can't." I actually wound up turning a double play to end the game. A line drive to me and I threw him out. So it worked what he did, man. He did. He stayed on us.
I wanted to ask you real quick about playing for Mike Pino. The protect the pickaxe, the gold standard. However you want to describe that level of expectation that Mike has to a ball comes to the minors organization.
And listen, I can't say enough about Mike Pinto. I mean, he was, to this day, I talk to him a lot. He was more than a manager to me. He was just a father figure, a life coach, whatever you want to say. He was just always there for you. Mike would tell you how it is. Like, listen, he'd tell you, but he would tell you always in love. And that was, besides the team stuff and, getting on us and, he'd get fired up. Don't get me wrong. And when we needed it, we needed it. But like when it was like a face-to-face or we were talking about something, I mean, he always told you stuff. It was always in love and you knew he had your back and you knew you had his support. And it goes to players being comfortable, man. And like I tell the kids today that we work with all the time, like, if you're not comfortable, you're not going to be, what do you do good uncomfortable? You know what I mean? Like, really,
Yeah.
you don't do anything good uncomfortable. And Mike had a way to get his point across to you and get you to where, and get you to do what you needed to do, but also in love and making you comfortable on there and not putting pressure on you and those kind of things. And that says a lot about a manager, man. A lot of managers can't do that. A lot of managers can't, be able to juggle personalities. He knew my personality, so he used it. Those kind of things. And he knew Ralph's personality, he knew Joey's personality, he knew Tim's personality. It didn't matter. So he knew how to handle us. And, like as good as we were on paper, you need to put it together. And Mike always did an unbelievable job of putting it together for us and putting us in a situation to succeed.
Well, man, we're coming up on Friday night is going to be our virtual opening night. I think it is unbelievable that the staff at the Miners have put together a virtual baseball game that is going to be aired on the live stream. You're going to see your player in MLB The Show, dude.
Dude, it's so cool. It's so cool, man, and I'm so excited about it. And I never thought that would happen. But to be on an MLB Show, to play in a virtual game, to be again being part of an opening Southern Illinois Miners opening day. I mean, at 39 years old, sitting in South Jersey, I wouldn't have believed you if you told me this a year ago. How am I going to be part of it? And for me to be a part of it and to relive those memories and see the guys and see these, I'm gonna watch these interviews that the guys are gonna do. It's gonna be great to see them and talk with and be a part of it.
You were part of the all-decade team.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fan favorite, just personality-wise, how you played the game. The all-decade team was selected by fans, by media. What would you say to the fans as we kind of wind things up here? What would you say to the fans of Illinois Miners baseball?
With the fans, it's just at the end of the day, you don't have fans. What do we got, right? You don't have people coming out. You don't have people watching. You don't have people supporting you. You don't have people cheering for you. And the way they were with us was something that's I never experienced it before in my career. They were there for you. They supported you. They picked you up. I mean, I'm 0 for 4 going down the first. I'm 0 for 4. Fourth at bat, I ground out to whatever I'm running down. Turning, going back to the dugout, man. And these people and these fans were literally like, you could hear in their voice, like, don't worry about it, man. You'll be all right. You're gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. It's okay. We would always, and this attests to how great the fans were. We would talk about it. Like, we go 0 for 4, 0 for 5. We would go sign autographs. We would do anything we can to sign autographs after the game for as long as we can, because they made you feel, you think that they were, that we were helping them by signing autographs, but no. But when they would talk to us, man, don't worry about it. It's all good. Hang in there. That was important, and they were there for you, and you had their support. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
We got 2 out of the 3. Come on, say hi. Say hi. Just say
There's
hi.
the girls.
There the girls.
Hi.
Hair's all over the place. They're playing. But I can't say enough about the fans and how they were with me personally. They were unbelievable, and the support they gave, me personally, and just it's something I'll never forget and I'll cherish. I think it's just, like I said, I cannot say enough about them and how they were with us. The love, number one, the love, the support, and the encouragement, man. And when you're down, and think about it, you got a 27-year-old kid from New Jersey, no family around. I just went 0 for 5. I'm ready to, lose my mind, and they're the ones there picking you up, man. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Hang in there. You got a game tomorrow. Like, and it's just something that you never forget. And, they helped a lot too, to get you through situations.
Well,
it's great.
Mike, I so appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us here, and can't wait to see you on the video board for the for opening night. And I just want to say thanks for your time, for that you were a player, and thanks for turning out to be the guy that you are with the family, and
Appreciate it.
time with us here, and it's been a real pleasure. And hope everybody. Are you going to get to watch the game Friday?
Oh man, we're setting it all up. We're setting it all up. We're gonna make sure we got it on the big screen downstairs. We're gonna figure out how to do that, and we're gonna all watch together. So we're excited about it, and I think my dad's gonna swing by, come over, hang out with my brothers. So
Well, that's
all good.
outstanding. Once again, thank you, brother. We appreciate it, man. And
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Hello once again, Miners fans, and welcome to our continuing coverage of Miners Virtual Opening Day here on Facebook Live. We are joined by yet another of the greatest Miners players ever, this time a catcher who played for the team in 2008 and 2010, an all-star with the team as well. Brendan Occasion joins us now here on Virtual Opening Day. Brendan, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me, Jason. Appreciate it.
I like the broadcast headset. I can definitely appreciate the look that you've got going there.
Yeah, I know. You should have it on too. I'm on the phone a lot during the day, so I find it annoying if I can't understand others. So trying to make sure I'm as clear as possible to the people that I'm talking to. So apologies for the headset. You guys.
No, you don't have to apologize to me for the headset. It's a great look. Keep on doing that. We're going to start with the beginning of your Miners career here back in 2008. The story goes that you get a call from Mike Pinto. He wanted to bring you in as a backup catcher. Said you might catch once a week, and you said, oh, okay, I'll catch every day. And eventually you were the everyday catcher. You had that confidence about you. Where did that come from initially?
Yeah, I mean, I think, part of that's, it's a good story to tell in hindsight because I ended up becoming the everyday catcher. I could have easily been, someone that fizzled out, and that's a poor story, I guess, or poor way to start the relationship. But, I think, I came out of college. Obviously, I had a good amount of knee surgeries, and one of those things of, was the MLB draft didn't occur, wasn't selected in 2008, but ended up, having a pretty big chip on my shoulder coming out of that after my senior year. And I think, and having that conversation with Mike, I was definitely eager to perform at a high level as soon as I got to Southern Illinois. Definitely wanted to, I think everybody takes, not receiving an opportunity and affiliated, a different way. I think I after a couple days of being down, turned it into a positive. And I think that was helped me propel into a positive, first year with the minors, of just trying to step in and contribute to the team as much as I could from the start. And, I look back on that 2008 kind of rookie year as one of, the more positive athletic experiences I've ever had. And it really was a fun year and second year of the minors history. And, it was a ton of fun and a rewarding experience to be a part of.
There's an inherent toughness in playing the position that you played, which is catcher. Mike talked about your toughness, and the words that he used were to describe how tough you were when you were on the field. You were a bit of a Tasmanian devil, wanted to win, very competitive, but also very tough. And I read that you also had a hockey background. Is that kind of where some of that came from?
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, I think I would say, catchers in general have to be, physically and mentally tough to just play the position on a day in, day out basis. I think, as I've communicated, I think in the past, it's one of those things where the position itself is a little different than any other position on the field, but to be able to, perform day in and day out, you definitely need support on multiple levels. And I think from a, minors experience, I think, I wouldn't be able to catch, every day if it wasn't for, the players that I was with, the coaching staff that I was with, the medical staff that I was with, Chris Stone and some of these, just so many people that, contributed in such a positive way to, having a positive experience and staying healthy and being able to grind on a daily basis. And I think, I played the game a little differently than others, but it was more just based on my skill set and knowing kind of what I could and couldn't do. And I had to do things a little different to stay relevant. And that, some people would call that toughness. I would call that more survival of just trying to contribute and further my career any way I could.
Well, you survived and you also thrived, and you helped a couple of particular pitchers that you worked with in your 2 years thrive to historic heights as well. You caught not one but two Frontier League Pitchers of the Year, Ryan Bird in 2008, Joe Augustine in 2010. What was that like for you to be able to work with them, and what are kind of the differences in the way they went about winning that Pitcher of the Year award?
Yeah, I mean, obviously two kind of impressive individuals and just the way that they approach the game. One, they're both awesome kids. I guess starting with Bird, I mean, just a super talented kid, but, obviously was very driven to do whatever he could to get the most out of his ability. I think, Ryan obviously was supremely talented, but I think seeing him prepare off the field was just a little different than every other person that I was around. And I think, he did whatever he could to promote consistency and preparation, and it showed. And I think that's, I think combined with just his competitiveness was pretty awesome to see. And I think, I have said this in the past, but, didn't really experience an individual like Ryan until I was privileged to, be able to catch Joe Augustine in 2010. Once again, just, the preparation that Joe did off the field, setting himself up for success on the field was pretty impressive. Teamed with obviously immense talent, but, I think, I was fortunate enough to catch, pitchers with talent levels of all different varieties throughout my career. And, Ryan and Joe definitely weren't from a skill set, the most talented pitcher I've ever faced, but from a preparation, they were definitely 1A and 1B of people that cared and people that did whatever they could to be successful. And I think, that's what led to them being Frontier League Pitchers of the Year.
It also helps, I guess, in Ryan Bird's case to have that absolute hammer of a curveball, which I understand gave you some difficulty from time to time.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure they've switched up Rent One a little differently, where they have all dirt in the plate and mound. I believe. But when I was catching, it was definitely turf bounces on a 12-6 curveball from Ryan Bird over my head, which made me change the way I block balls a little bit. I became definitely more of a jumping forward catcher blocker, and definitely used my glove a good amount because there was no possible way to contain Ryan Bird's 12-6 curveball. But yeah, it's just like anything, you need to adjust to the surface that you're on. I would say, I'm a coach now, so I always tell my my catchers that I work with. I think everybody tries to teach catching in a vacuum, but it really does depend on where you are playing, the weather, kind of the surface in front of you. Is it wet? Is it dry? To drive your technique at some. And I would just say, from a Rent One Park standpoint, it was definitely a different element than what you'd experience in a lot of other baseball fields.
Well, we go to the 2010 season, which was the legendary season with the 20-game win streak. And with all that happened in that streak, it was obviously an incredible record-setting summer for the team in general. But what was it like to be a part of a 20-game win streak, which is something that had not been done before in the Frontier League, nor has it been even remotely approached since?
Yeah, I mean, it was a cool experience for sure. Obviously, I think looking back on it, you don't even really remember. You don't remember it like, oh, we won 20 games. Because I think, from a baseball perspective, I think successful teams are able to turn the page day by day. And definitely in that stretch run, I think we had a very, very talented team with, just talent in from the starting pitchers to the bullpen to obviously some significant talent when it came to hitting. And I think, we just won and won and won and won. And there wasn't any, I think the impressive part about that was there wasn't any one moment within those 20 games where we, by any means, said, oh, wow, we still have a winning streak. Or I think, we just kind of looked back at the end of 3 weeks and said, oh, wow, we have 20 games now. Let's celebrate, because, that's a cool thing to do. But, no one worked harder during that period. No one worked, less hard because we were winning. It was just one of those times where you just get into a really good rhythm from a team perspective, and you kind of look back at the end and say, wow, we played really well over that period. And the 20-game win streak was really kind of a creature of that.
Well, speaking of celebration, there is a story that goes along with the 20-game win streak that I'm not sure a lot of fans know, and it involves you. The story goes that after the first 10 wins of that streak, Mike Pinto let everybody go out to the Pinch Penny pub in Carbondale, which at the time was kind of off limits to players. So as a reward, you guys were able to go there. And then I'll let you take up the story from there, because you went into Mike Pinto's office and kind of made him a bet that he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can try to put Pinto's personal money on the line, I think it's always a good experience. So I think we ended up betting a night out on 20 wins on his dime. So we ended up getting that. I remember we ended up going and opening up Mike's wallet a little bit. I think Mike probably got a good trade there. I think Mike would trade 20 wins for whatever our tab was that night. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I think when you're in one of those grooves, I think you just want to be with your teammates that are around you. I think it was nothing more than that, other than, hey, let's try to get, us all on the, all on the same page of going out one night and celebrating on, Mr. Pinto's tab. And, if that was a motivator, hey, that's a good thing. But, ended up being a good night from what I remember.
Well, in the years since you played for the Miners, Brendan, what are you doing now? You mentioned that you coach now. So where are you coaching?
Yeah, so I work in finance in Boston at a place called Brown Brothers Harriman. So I work in their product development for a securities lending product. So pretty boring stuff to I'm sure anybody on this audience. But in the meantime, I do help coach high school hockey and baseball in Lowell, Massachusetts, where I live and where I went to high school. And so my brother's the head hockey coach. We've won the kind of Mass Division III North for the last 3 out of the last 4 years. So that's been really cool to be a part of. We have a lot of good kids who have, put in a lot of work, and it's fun to see their hard work come to fruition. And then I'm fortunate enough to help out with the high school baseball team whenever I can. It proves challenging sometimes with the work schedule, but I definitely try to help their catchers as much as I can in the off season and then in season to just try to give back to the high school that I went to.
Well, it's great to say you still be around the game of baseball, a game that you excelled at for the Miners, unlike really any other catcher that they've ever had. Once again, thanks so much for joining us here on virtual opening day, and best of luck to both of your teams in the future. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Go Miners.